Evening, freaks. I'm here to bring you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we're going to dive into a Capricorn wild card read. 11 on the clock when I said that. Big alignment energy coming in for you, Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or anywhere that you have Capricorn strongly aspected in your chart, this could speak to you. I feel we got that big goat energy coming in, Capricorn. You have reached your limit. You have reached your limit, and you're being forced to dive into this place within yourself where you tap into your tenacity, where you tap into your resilience, the part of you that's going to do whatever it takes to get you to the other side. And I do believe that you have a big time leap of faith coming up for you, Capricorn. If you're going to really, pull one off, if you're going to pull one off. And I do feel it's kind of like a real do or die energy for Capricorn right now. You've really realized that you're at a point where there's certain things in your life that you cannot tolerate anymore. And in order to switch things up, you need to head in an entirely different direction. Some of this has to do with your shadow. The ways that you hold back and the ways that you sabotage yourself and sabotage your connections because you come too much from a place of needing to have everything in control, this aspect, this need, this desire to have everything under control all the time, to feel like you're in charge, to feel like you have a grip on matters. It's actually what's slowing you down. A fixed hand is a losing hand. We got this 5 of Diamonds energy in the shadow, okay? This is operating from a place of lack, operating from a place of feeling like you never have enough, and the shadow aspect of feeling like you never have enough is greed, and greed can sometimes lead, people to act out in self-defensive posturing ways, that actually push away everything that would fulfill them, okay? We got the 10 of Diamonds coming up here in the light. We see that this is what you're really wanting, Capricorn. You're wanting that big financial reward. You're wanting that financial stability, but there's greed associated with this, with the 9 of Hearts here, okay? The 9 of Hearts coming up in the shadow. It's like you have this wish, but you're forgetting about what really makes for success, what really makes for success and stability. It's not just about money. It's not just about things. It's not just about the flash. It's not just about the image, okay? It's not about this superficial bullshit. It's not about the superficial trappings. It's not about what kind of car you drive. At the end of the day, it's about how you showed up in the world, how you showed up in the world. 4 of Clubs energy, this is about coming into alignment, with that place called home, within yourself, where you're really coming from a place of your true values and not falling prey to sort of these like societal distortions of what it means to have success. I did see a plane flying overhead right as I was going into that, and I feel like you're about to take off, you're about to take off, but be aware of what direction you're heading in, is it really what's going to be the thing that leads to your fulfillment? What's motivating you to move forward at this point? What's motivating you to, leap towards this thing that's calling you? Is it a true soul calling, or is this something that's alluring to you because you think it's going to give you a certain kind of, status? Status is what I'm really getting, We do have 5 of Diamonds coming up, in the light side of this here. I think there's been this lack of fulfillment, this general lack of fulfillment. And you're looking for partnership with this 2 of Clubs energy here coming up in the light aspect. And there is a necessity to kind of discover, learn, and play. It is coming up in the upright. So I think, it can be good for you to be in this exploratory place right now where you're opening yourself up to different people, places, things, you know, willing to sort of put yourself in unfamiliar environments, willing to do things you've never done before. And that requires that you release that sense of control, right? It means that you don't get to be the one in charge all the time. It means you have to have more of this like fluidity, you know, like Bruce Lee said, be like water, okay? Be like water. Be able to enter into that flow and let it carry you to where you're meant to be. Let it take you to that place of alignment. Let it connect you with source, the source that will actually feed you, give you that fulfillment, give you that fulfillment in your material reality, which is more than just about how much money you have or what kind of clothes you wear or the kind of car that you drive. It's also about, you know, the people you've gathered around you, the people who are your kindred, you know, and it's about having that sense of home, you know? And a lot of times we look for a sense of home as something outside of ourselves. We look for it in, you know, a structure, in a house, but we forget that home is about really being rooted within ourselves. And I feel like you're looking for that. You're looking for that. And all you feel is that in some way, you know, something doesn't feel like you belong, you know, where you are. And because of that sense of lack, it can drive you into this place of greed to just find an easy fix, you know, find an easy fix to fill it up real fast. We got the Queen of Spades energy coming up here in the light. That's associated with the earth sign. Associated with the air signs. You might be dealing with an earth sign too, okay? There might be an earth sign factoring into the situation and somehow that does have an effect on this. Maybe there's some kind of separation with an earth sign, because Queen of Spades also can represent like, you know, there's been a severing of a connection. That would be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, okay? And you are Capricorn, okay? So this may be also something that's really affecting you, a separation that you've been having. There could also be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that's having an effect on you. We do see it's coming up in the light aspect here. Right after that is the Four of Hearts, okay? And this is also in the light aspect. So I think that there's been some healing work that's been going on around maybe some codependent issues, you know, and maybe this has to do with you recognizing some past patterns that you've had in your relationships, and understanding that maybe this is the reason why you've always felt such a need for control, because when we're looking at codependent dynamics, there's usually like there's two players in that little dance, right? And I just saw a firefly fly by here. That might be a particular message for you, okay? With the fireflies, may have a connection with an earth sign or somebody who has a strong earth sign placement in their chart, because that earth sign came in. And you know, nothing is ever an accident in a reading, but I feel like you're understanding that your role in like codependent dynamics has always been the one to sort of like have to have the control. You need to feel like you have the power, and that this actually stems from a sense of insecurity, you know, because in that dance of codependency, there's two partners, and one is the person who's like needs to have control and is kind of like strong arming everything, and very much in this like my way, goatish, or the highway, you know, stance, right? And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the person who is like the caregiver, you know, they're overly tending, they're overly, you know, nurturing, they're taking too much responsibility for the care and the love in the relationship, and this is where the imbalance starts to develop. But there's really only one thing you can do to heal a dynamic like that, and that is, you know, that Queen of Spades energy. You have to cut off that supply, you know, because it is like this energetic push-pull dynamic. You have to cut off the supply. You have to create some space. You have to have some time on your own, you know. We got the 2 of Spades energy here, but it's coming up in the shadow. I feel like maybe you were in a situation like this. I'm getting sentience, and you cut off the person real cold, real cold. Yeah, I feel like you also may have had some harsh words. You know, this was a swift action. And again, I'm getting air sign energy with this: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Okay. This is something that was done very swiftly, very impetuously. You might have thought that this was wish fulfillment, like, okay, I need to cut off this person so I can have wish fulfillment, because we can see what motivated it was the 9 of Hearts here. Okay, that's all about going for a wish. But we see here with the Ace of Spades coming up in the shadow aspect, there's something hidden here, okay, that you're not seeing. And right behind that, we got in the shadow the 7 of Spades. And 7 of Spades is all about some fuck shit, okay? This is sabotage. This is sabotage, you know? So I think that where there was a cutoff, whether, pick what side you're on, whether this person cut you off or you cut them off, okay? This was a good thing to move away from. If you've been even considering, you know, trying to have some kind of connection with this person, because we do see here, we got the Queen of Hearts energy. That would be water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, okay? We do see that it's to do a dance with the devil. Have you ever danced with the devil under the pale moonlight? It is your full moon building right now, and it's going to be the biggest, brightest moon of the year. And I think some things are going to be illuminated for you. Yeah, we got a little cosmic play going on here with this Joker energy coming up in the light. Something is going to be illuminated. Oh, something's going to be illuminated for you, Capricorn. And let me tell you, look at that. Joker again. Look at the money sign. Will you look at the money sign? Because there was this like greed, money, you know, valuing things more than people energy that came in your reading. Look at this shadow aspect. 12:12 on the clock when I said this, okay? So, you know, you need to think about this twice. You need to think about this twice. And I think there's something that you've been kind of like deluding yourself. I kind of get this sort of like castles in the sky kind of energy, like you've been in sort of fantasy land, you know, you've been telling yourself these stories, and you don't understand the way your shadow is actually preventing you from diving into that place where you feel more vulnerable. You know, you think you got it all under control. You think people can be kind of like disposable, like, oh, I don't need them. I don't need people. I feel like, you know, because of wounding, because of places where you were sensitive, because of places where you've been scared to open up and really let yourself be seen. You know, seen as you are, naked, no artifice, none of this fucking bullshit that comes up on social media, none of this like putting an image out there, but letting yourself be seen as you are and diving into that place of intimacy. I think you felt very vulnerable, you know, very vulnerable. And it felt like too much for you, you know, with this 10 of Clubs energy. We do see that you had been in a place of, you know, overwhelm, of having to keep up, you know, kind of this image, you know. There's a lot in your energy right now that's about shedding a false image. And I think something is really going to be illuminated for you with this full moon that's coming in tomorrow. That's going to highlight that for you. You're going to understand the ways that you've sort of been working a little bit of glamour on your ass, you know? You've been working a little glamour on yourself, and this is what has actually kept you stuck with this 8 of Spades energy, you know? You've been feeling like you're trapped. You've been feeling like you're stuck. And this is a story you're telling yourself. But is it really true? You know, is it really true? Or is what's keeping you stuck your fear, you know, your fear of actually being authentically who you are, shedding your vulnerability, and letting yourself be seen in that place of radical emotional authenticity. I do feel like there is a Queen of Hearts energy that you need to be live to. This person is working in the shadow, okay? They are working in the shadow. And there is something in this mix about greed, there's deceit, there's stuff that's being done behind people's backs. You know, I really have this, it's very much a subterfuge kind of energy. And also when we're looking at Queen of Hearts, you know, Scorpio is part of that water collective. We do have Pluto retrograde right now. Pluto is going to be retrograde all the way through fall season, okay? So we're doing a lot of shadow work. We're doing a lot of shadow work. And I just got this, maybe for some of you, the shadow that you're healing is sort of like relational patterns that have to do with a mother figure in your life and how you've related to that mother figure. And that's sort of skewed your perceptions of either how you expect women to be or how you move in relationship as a woman, okay? Pick what side you're on, but there's something that's really being illuminated for you here. And then there's also some of you that are exploring romantic involvement with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and you're not recognizing that this person is kind of more interested in working with you. 3 of Diamonds here, okay, in the light, for money. For the money aspect, for the financial stability, for the image that's being sold, and not actually who you are, not actually your heart, okay? We got this 8 of Hearts energy here coming up in the shadow, okay? And that's like sort of, again, there's this very much this like crossroads energy that's front and center in the collective right now. But this is coming up very strongly for you in your reading. And for you, it's all about this choice. Like, are you going to go for the thing that just sort of gratifies you on a material level, you know, that looks good to other people, that maybe gives you that kind of clout? Are you going to choose the person or the career path, or, you know, are you going to choose to invest yourself in sort of like more posturing, more cultivation of your image, more trappings, you know, that sort of like this belief that, you know, money will solve everything. Like, as long as I got money, I got all I need. Where, you know, in some respects, like, yes, you know, having good, solid finances can absolutely, you know, make life easier, right? For sure. We're not going to deny that aspect. Also, you know, it's nice to, you know, feel like you have people who support you, and you got, you know, camaraderie, and you got your like circle, you got like your crew, and they got your back, and they dig who you are, and you feel welcome with these people. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the need to transform this energy of putting out a false projection of who you are, or simply playing out some version of yourself that's actually really outdated and not in alignment with who you are. And I do think like that initial message that came in with that plane that was flying overhead, I do feel like you're preparing for takeoff, but you know, you got to do like a systems check before you take off, right? And it's like, where are you focused? What is motivating you to go forward? And I really feel like you're being called to head in a more soulful direction. I feel that really strongly. There's this Eye of Horus energy coming in here too. I feel like some of this is also like past life related. And I feel like there's protection. I feel there's protection around you at this time. Protection as you sort of like open yourself up and explore, you know, the stuff of your soul. Like, where are you really being guided? There is some endings that need to take place here. And these endings are being looked after, you know, and you're going to be protected and supported as you go through these endings in your life. But, you know, be mindful of how you're moving, you know, because with this 3 of Diamonds in the shadow aspect, that lets me know that you're moving out of balance here. So there's a need for that, like, systems check. Mind, body, spirit. Is everything aligned? You know, be mindful of the next steps that you take out of the crossroads, because these are going to set the tone for your future for a long way to come. You know, I'm getting this message that's like, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. All right. Be mindful of how you move forward. Again, I think for some of you, this has to do with a love relationship. And again, there's that like monetary aspect, right? And it came up in the shadow. Look at this. First love card come up. 2 of Hearts. The other 2 suit that you had come up was 2 of Clubs, which is all about more like business partnership. Okay, well, you got 2 of Hearts here, and it's in the shadow, all right? And again, you had that 3 of Diamonds. Yeah, this is people working together, but diamonds, that doesn't have anything to do with love. This is about money. You know, somebody in this picture, and it very well could be that Queen of Hearts energy. Somebody in this picture, and we got here, King of Clubs, okay, in the shadow. First of all, King of Clubs and Queen of Hearts, we don't have a true pair on the board. We got 2 people that are operating out of their shadow. Club energy is fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay? You could have one of those signs strongly aspected in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Capricorn. But we're looking at a dynamic here where it's not a true pair. There's some kind of greed in this situation. There is one person who's very much motivated by what they can get monetarily out of the person. 21:33 on the clock when I said that. There's that 3 alignment, okay? Triple 3s, Trinity energy, all right? 3 of Hearts in light. I'm telling you what you need for healing right now, so you can get out of this fuck shit, because this is a binding situation right here. It's like, it looks good. It looks good on the surface until you get into it. And by the time you get into it, then you're really trapped. Right now, you're actually in a position where you have an opportunity to get very clear and sort of move out of the ways that you sabotage yourself. 22:11 on the clock when I said this. Get very clear and move out of the ways that you sabotage yourself. There is really a necessity for you to sink into your heart right now. You've been coming too much from this like logic place, this too much from this ego gratification place. And this is front and center in this current lunar cycle that we're in, because we do have Jupiter. Jupiter came in to kick off this lunar cycle, square that new moon in Cancer, okay? And that makes everything very grandiose, and it can make ego really inflated. It can make us sort of be very motivated by that instant gratification, okay? And that's front and center for you. And that Jupiter also had an aspect to Saturn with this lunar cycle that came in. And Saturn is your ruling sign, Capricorn. It requires you to be more disciplined. You know, this is sort of like taming the wild horses a little bit. It's like, yeah, move forward by all means. 23:23 on the clock when I said this. I do think it's time to invoke your goat, right? It's time to invoke that goat energy, but don't lose the other part of that sea goat energy, right? With Capricorn, which is about the water, the fluidity, the flexibility. A fixed hand is a losing hand in this astroclimate. This is about you being able to not only have the courage, you know, to take the leap and to make the change you need to make, because I do see you need to move out of a crossroads. It's time to get things rolling. It's time for your takeoff. But you got to get your systems check in place, man. You got to make sure that mind, body, spirit is in alignment, you know, that you really know what's true for you on a soul level, that you're not ignoring what your intuition is telling you, that you're listening to your heart. And if something feels off, you know, in a connection, if something doesn't feel right, if you're having trouble trusting someone, it's important that you listen to that. There's something really to be aware of there with this 5 of Spades energy, okay? This is betrayal energy, and it's coming up in the light here. So it's like, this is what's being illuminated for you. This person will fuck you up. Again, if you rush forward impulsively with this Jack of Clubs energy, fire sign energy again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in the shadow. If you just run off with this because you think it looks like a good time, it's going to end up something you regret. And once you're in it, you're really going to find yourself in a bind. Okay? You've been warned. It's important that you really listen to your intuition and that you really think about how you're moving. Is the way you're moving in integrity? Are you motivated from a soul place? Is this your soul's directive talking, or is this your ego gratification talking? Is this you just wanting to kind of like come off, you know, looking good to everybody else? Is this you putting on a show because it's maybe more difficult to really dive into what you're actually feeling? There's sort of like this situation of like, I think you actually have been going through an experience where you felt really vulnerable. And instead of you really embracing that cathartic healing process, letting yourself feel vulnerable and letting yourself be seen and having the ability to really like open up, communicate, and do the healing work with others. I feel this, like this cooperative energy with others around what's been coming up for you. Instead, you're sort of just trying to put like a Band-Aid on this big gaping wound. It's like a stopgap measure. You're like filling it up with material things. You're like, some of you are impulse buying, you know, you're doing a lot of shopping. We got King of Diamonds energy, okay? So there you are, Capricorn. This might be coming up for, you know, more of the men, you know, this big, you know, this big pimpin' kind of energy, sort of feeling like, you know, I'm a boss, you know, and a lot of you, I do feel like, even you women in the bunch, you know, I feel like a lot of you have definitely, you know, you've built up a certain level of stability for yourself. I do see your money looking really good, and I do see moving forward in finances for sure. And it looks prosperous. It looks like abundance is on its way with this Three of Clubs coming up in the light. But right behind that, we got the Jack of Spades, and it's in the shadow. And this has to do with a lot of unhealthy, impulsive actions. So this is like a big, too big for your britches kind of energy. Like, don't let shit go to your head. Don't let shit go to your head. All right? There's more to life than just being a big baller, okay? There's more to life than that. And at the end of the day, when all's said and done, you know, people are going to remember how you treated them. That's how you'll be remembered. People aren't going to remember you for how much money you had or how impressive your Instagram fucking page looked or how many followers you had or any of that shit. What they're going to remember is how they felt when you were in their presence. You know, and if you can be mindful of this, you know, if you can bring it into alignment, if you can really get centered in what your soul is directing you to do right now, 2811, this leads you to victory with the Six of Clubs in the light. This leaves you in a place where you can really feel good about how you move forward into this new cycle, you know? It's putting an end, you know, to this need with the Ten of Spades in the shadow to just fucking like obliterate everything, you know, to fucking like blow up the goddamn bridge after you cross it. You know, you might want to be mindful of that. You know, you might think that that's a good thing now, but down the road you might be really sorry. You might be really sorry. You might want to heal some of those connections that end up being sort of the casualties, you know, of your impulsiveness and your recklessness because you're too afraid, you know, to really dive into the depth of what you're feeling. And you're just trying to, you know, be on to the next thing because you want to come off like it doesn't matter to you, like it doesn't, I don't care, I don't give a shit, you know, I look at me, I'm doing so well, I got all this money, I'm a big baller, I'm traveling, I got all the trappings, you know. And then at the end of the day, when you slip into your bed at night, you know, that's when you're confronted with the ways that despite having all this, you actually still feel so fucking empty inside. You know, it's about confronting this place. And when you're able to confront this place inside of you, you know, and really heal the stuff from your past, you know, with this 6 of Hearts coming up in the shadow that's held you back. Yeah, this is where your wound is with this 3 of Spades in the shadow. This is the place you need illumination. This is the place where your growth has been stunted. You haven't held space for this, all right? It's so important to do this work, Capricorn. It's what turns everything around for you. Cut of the deck energy. If you don't do this work, if you don't hold space to illuminate your shadow and call forward what's been sabotaging you up to now and do the healing work, yeah, your ships will come in, but you ain't gonna like the way it manifests. So be mindful, do the right thing. You do have an opportunity for victory and to land in a place where you really can be in that spirit of celebration. You can feel good about how you move forward. Or you can move forward selfishly, and then you'll see what your lot is. Be smart. And don't try to have too much control. Try to flow more. Go more into that water side of your sign, sea goat.